All right. Uh, Lori, you want to go first?
I can.
You can.
Yeah, everything else I canceled today. Other than Johnson County.
Is Massac in?
All the schools are canceled, but, and so because of that, my the counties I don't think canceled, but the schools are canceled.
The only school that I'm aware of that's open those today is SMU. Every other
I didn't
school.
check SIU.
Trust me, they're open.
Yeah. Roads are still pretty bad, except for the interstates and the main roads, but other than that, it's pretty slippery out there.
Secondary roads are usually the last to get covered.
Yeah. Sorry for my attire today. Just hit my board meeting. All right, well, this is the first quarter report. I'm not gonna read through that with you guys. I just want to hit on a couple of things. We are moving forward with our truancy. Thanks. Okay. With our truancy information, outreach, just like I had said before. So a couple of things that we've moved forward with is developing a parent pack when they come in for their step 2 meetings. The step 2 meeting is when we have the school, our truancy officer, myself, representatives from hopefully a teacher. We're working on bringing teachers into these meetings, as well as the court assistant state's attorney. They all come to these meetings. So we have this folder, we've got it all cute. They're not in yet, but made it colorful, eye-catchy, kind of marketing, and the folder is filled with educational materials for the parents. We have surveys that are going out that the parents and students fill out, as well as the teacher, in order at these meetings to bring together, identify what the barriers are of getting them to school, and then having the school provide those supports, and then following up with that about a month later to see if that's all working cohesively, instead of just every time we meet with them, it's always punishment, or making them feel terrible about themselves. So we're hoping that the educated parents is going to help move us in the right direction. Maybe I got my head in the clouds, but I mean, I don't know what else to do. So that's what we're working on. So when I get those folders in, I'll bring them to you guys to see, just so you can kind of see what we're pushing out to the schools. And communication. We are really focusing on communication, so we're updating our website right now, as well as, I don't know if you guys have been getting them, the newsletters. So in that, that's kind of our community connection with what our office is doing and the services that we're providing to the schools, and just bring more awareness to the teachers, the counselors, and so forth. One of our primary focuses this month was on McKinney-Vento, homeless grant, what we can do for that, to contact people for that. Our Codes for Kids program. We just went to set up shopping days, so the schools come to Walmart, we do it in different cities, and so come to Walmart, and then there's a checkout time, and we do all the processing and paying for it and all the paperwork at Walmart. That's been good. We've been able to utilize all the monies for that in that process. So that's simpler. Let's see. Oh, and then Kids Foundation. So Kids Foundation is just an extra add-on to our McKinney-Vento. We have a little more flexibility with what we can do with that money. And it is mostly teacher funded. And so that was a push up to the teachers. Just remember, you can do this. We've had so many turnovers and, new people, old people, some people who haven't ever done it. So when they want to utilize those funds, they can for certain reasons. So that goes through the teachers. That's what we're working on.
It seems like all the school districts seem to have had quite a few teachers announce that they're going to be retiring within the next 3 years. So there's going to be a huge monster turnover here over the next 3-4 year period of time.
Right. Also, and I think that might benefit the system in the fact that the minimum salary for teachers is rising. So hopefully, as we know that the younger teachers really do cost more, but in the long term of things, but hopefully that turnover will help in the ease. We will see. Hopefully we have teachers to put into position.
That's what I was wondering, how things are looking for.
The state is really hitting it hard. I know SAU is going to graduate 66 next year compared to like 20 over the past couple of years. So that is progress.
How many of those are local?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that we have a lot of, non-local students at SIU. Although we went to an open house on Saturday, kind of see, because my son's a senior, so we're making some of these college visits, and it was nice to see that they had a good open house. Over 600 students were in attendance, so I was quite impressed.
They've
That
done
was
a much
great.
better job of going after the local
are.
students where they took them. They had taken the local students for granted,
Absolutely.
but they're going to each high school now.
They are, and a lot of the other schools always have done that. They come into those high schools and they're trying to recruit students, or at least get them interested, pull them in, get their names and such. But I will tell you that whole recruiting of the local students, that is really happening, because we took my son to everything that they're trying to do. So I'm just trying to build this up. Went to the SIU was involved in the Salute to Illinois Scholars. It was held in Effingham. We went there, and then on Friday night, we went to the Leaders and Scholars reception dinner, and they hired a admissions recruiter, Jennifer. I don't know the last name right now, but she knew his name. She recognized us. She was making it very personable, person, follow-up emails. They're really pulling you in and trying to just make those connections.
Trying to be proactive.
They really are. So I was impressed.
The biggest problem still is the cost. Murray and Seymour are so much cheaper.
So is SIUE.
Oh, yeah. And SIUE is being unbelievably aggressive in this area.
Oh, they are. They are.
The nursing program that they just announced, the BSN program with Johnny Logan, that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
At the same time where SIU is trying to get their accreditation. I find that interesting.
Well, then you also run into some of the issues of students having to end up going a fifth year, an extra semester, because classes weren't offered when they could take them, because you don't have enough staff, enough students to really fill those. Whereas, back in the day, you could barely get into a class. So I know they're making some changes. They're trying to go out and recruit. They're going to have to make some changes in their tuition and opportunities as well. But I think they're in the right direction, from what I've seen. That's all I have.
Okay.
You guys can read the rest.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Lori.
Mr. Gregg?
Morning. I've just got two things on the agenda here. These are things that IDOT requires us to bring before you guys prior to the the calendar year for salary for the county engineer, myself, and all the IMRF and FICA benefits. These are things that are paid through county motor fuel, and then a switch off between SDR and county motor fuel. So there's a resolution there for the appropriation of the funds for the salary, as well as one appropriation there for the benefits, IMRF and FICA. We've kept that IMRF and FICA pretty steady for the last 5-6 years. The appropriation for the salary is a 3% bump is what's shown. So
They come down to Oakville.
yeah, half of it comes from motor fuel, half of it comes from IDOT. They do a swap with our STR money to motor fuel. So
I'll make a motion to accept the salary of county engineer resolution 19/11/12/58.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Brent Gentry?
Yeah.
Ron Ellis?
I'll make a motion for that. Did it come all the way out? But I'll take that. That vote for IMRF blackout benefits of county share resolution.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Brent Gentry?
Yeah.
Ron Ellis?
Yay.
And just for the record, that's 19/11/12/59.
I don't really have anything else at this time unless you guys have any questions or anything. We were out last night working the
What time did you head out?
most of our guys went out between 3:30 and 4. He was out till midnight. After that, it got so cold that we come in. We just started a normal hour a day because it was extremely cold this morning. You can't make a whole lot of headway. No. But
It was a mess last night.
it was.
It was a mess last night.
a mess. We had quite a bit of stuff melting and it refroze and it got really cold.
Left Effingham yesterday at about 3:30, got home at 8:30.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a little under 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours total.
Wow.
Yeah. But, yeah, we were stuck dead still. 2 hours. I was. People were talking, they were there for 3 hours or longer.
The interstate's got to be kind of, you
It's a
just get
mess.
one little thing and you got a hiccup and the whole thing is a mess.
Between Effingham and here, I saw 15 cars and trucks off the road. Various in the middle, off the sides. One guy was way up into the woods. Off the side, yeah, he's getting big
They
time.
were saying on the news that north of Mount Vernon was worse. That they
It
apparently
was,
just
it
switched
was.
over the rain, before it came into snow. The rain switched to ice and then
It did.
froze and then snowed on top of it.
Yeah, that's what happened. And it was bad. So,
It was slick last night and it's still in back roads, like you said, the back roads are definitely patchy and slick and as it starts to melt with the sun, it'll get a glaze on it, you know.
Tonight will be interesting again.
Hopefully it melts and it gets away from the pavements at least, you know, we'll see. So we're out working it today, so. Good deal. Anyway, thanks,
Thanks,
bud.
Under the old business, I just want to point out that on the accounting services for this next year, that we have, we're increasing the amount that the audit is going to be from 75 to 78,000, and that we have to have a new single audit with the highway department.
So
So
that may not happen though, right?
Yeah, there's a chance that may not happen. There's a lot of conflicting information out there. All our federal aid agreements say that it's not required. It's only money that passes through our accounts. But the GOMB, the governor's office, there's a lady up there that's saying, yeah, you have to do it. But in the accounting world, there's no good way for them to meet the standards for that single audit. Because there's 14 metrics that all CPAs have to use, and she doesn't have access, or nor will anybody have access to the information. So it's in limbo. I don't know if for sure she'll have to do it or not.
I spoke to, begins with an S, Sherry or something like that. I don't remember her name now, up there in Springfield last Wednesday or Thursday, and asked her point blank if that has to be done. And she said, she doesn't, no, she's telling people that yes, and there are counties in the state that are going ahead and doing it, because the governor's office is wanting an accountability for the money coming from the federal government. Like the counties are gonna misspend that money for crying out loud.
We don't even see it.
Exactly. That goes directly to the state of Illinois. And I pointed that out to her and she says, yeah, that is an issue. That is an issue. So talking with her was very frustrating because she didn't have any answers. And the only thing that she said, she recommended that it be in our best interest to make sure that we don't have any problems going forward to do it.
And Kim is much that way. She wants to make sure there's no issues, because they talk about not pulling back your money where you wouldn't get grants and whatnot. But there's no way for her to do a single audit because she doesn't have access to the bank accounts and any of the information.
Well, that's what I told her. I said, where's that? I said, that is paid by the state of Illinois. To do an audit, you have to look at the expenditures that are paid. And she says, I said, and are you guys going to make that available? Well, we can't segregate it. You know, there's no way they can determine this was spent from Williamson County versus Winnebago County or Lake County or St. Clair County. I said, so how in the Sam Hill are you supposed to do an audit on information that you don't have, for crying out loud?
And all our federal aid agreements on all our projects we did this year, there's a clause in there that says this, and it specifically addresses single audits, that only the trigger is all just, you gotta exceed $750,000 going through your local accounts where they actually send you the federal money to spend on these projects. All our stuff is state-led. IDOT handles the money. We don't even see it. So that's kind of where she's at right now, at least the last time I talked to her.
So, any
So there's
idea?
a pretty good chance she won't have to do it.
Okay,
So
that would be good.
Stay warm, bud.
See you, Greg.
Thanks.
That big boy.
Okay.
Not a whole lot. Busy today. So right now, email's done. Got Ryan and another gentleman from CBS working on that. Till we get that back up, I actually can't check on the status of your notebook either, which I dropped off at FedEx.
Okay, what happened on the email? What's the email down about? They just shut it down to change over or?
No one can log in.
People were they were sent out a memo last week to leave their computers on over the weekend so that the switchover can be done. Well, of course, half the people in the county turned their computers off. So it couldn't be done. So now it's being done today during the work hours. And it's creating a
Girls,
mess.
don't they?
Well, as of right now, I don't think anyone can log into email from what I'm seeing. So I know they're working on that.
And it may take most of the day to do it because that was literally what they were going to do over the weekend. But because all the offices are locked, they didn't have access to the locked offices. So they were very limited on what they could do over the weekend.
Well, they're working on it. Hopefully we should be out. I don't have an ETA on that, so.
Okay.
Other than that, not much else. Just email and Brent's notebook.
Leave it to me.
I talked to
Yeah.
Jerry, part of the package that CDS gave us on switching over to Windows 10 on the upgrades was a $3,000 labor charge. I believe we can knock that out and let Jerry do the upgrades on that.
Yeah.
There's no need for CDS to charge us labor when we contract with them.
Now, that'll take, each computer might take between an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete the upgrade.
That's all.
So because of the length of time for that, he and I, when we were talking, I recommended that we might take a look at doing that start as soon as possible.
And the real big question is, do you want me to do that like during business hours or after, when everyone leaves?
Well, most of the time it's usually done afterwards, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Figure an hour and a half. So when you come in, you do it, and it's just got to run as a cycle to do it itself.
That computer's unusual for that length of time it's being updated.
Well,
And I can do multiple computers at the same time, so.
I would think we just do it during the day and, take one department, knock them out in one department, maybe over
That might be
a couple
good.
day
It'd
period
be
of time.
easier to do it.
Yeah,
And like us up here, we all just go.
that'd probably be best to do.
But
Take a department and just do it. You could probably do multiple ones at the same time, couldn't you?
Of course, I gotta wait till they get the email fixed.
Yeah, sure.
That should be done today, but
Yeah.
maybe we could, what do you have to buy to do that, to
Um,
do the conversion?
So a lot of these, the licenses already on the computers may be transferable. Some may not be. I don't know which computers CDS is slated for replacement. So, I mean, there's no need to upgrade a computer that's going to be replaced. So I need to know which one's going to be
Most of them.
replaced. Most of them are in the state's attorney's office.
There's 59 that can be upgraded,
Okay.
and we have a list for that. Ryan has a, excuse me, Ryan literally has a list for those 59.
Okay.
So, and they're broken down per department.
Okay.
So we can get that list from him, and
Excellent.
then we can see if you need to buy something to do that conversion, or maybe you could get that ready
Well, it would
this
just
week.
be, for the operating system itself, it would just be license keys. Now, some of these license keys may be transferable from Windows 7 to Windows 10.
So there's no,
Yeah, if it is, if
Anything-
one is transferable, I wouldn't have to enter anything into the computer.
just upgrade it, go through the upgrade process.
Correct.
Okay. So if you could get that, maybe you could get started on that next week,
Yeah, absolutely.
because it will take some time to go through everything.
Now, I know some of the hardware on those computers needs to be upgraded as well. Some of them are a little low on RAM.
Well, and some of them, I don't remember how many off the top of my head that just need to be brand new. But we were discussing that too, on the best way to buy those.
All right.
That way you can make a hard list of, okay, these computers in the state's attorney's office, there's 12 computers that we were able to upgrade, and there's 6 the computers that we have to buy new, and then you can identify those specific computers that we have to get new.
Okay.
And that way we have a hard list of what we need to change.
Okay.
Because right now,
Didn't they already do an evaluation on which systems they want to replace?
yeah, but what you're switching through there, you can just verify that the number count that we're gonna have to replace.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's, at the very least, there's 2 32-bit systems over there. The new standard 64-bit. So those definitely have to go. There might be 4 or 5 of those at least out there.
Okay.
So,
All right, bud.
all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thanks.
The recycling program, just ironically, when Kevin had sent everybody,
Before getting that, I'm gonna hold it.
oh yeah, sorry.
Real quick, no, I was sitting there thinking what he's talking about. The jail, okay, so here's an update on the jail. Through all the mess with the gas and everything. So, one Friday, where it was, weeks ago, they Doug brought in some of his people, an architect, about 16 people, I guess. And I sat and listened to that, and there were some things kind of crossed my mind that right now, they didn't know anything what caused it. So I went in the office, and I emailed everybody that I was working with for the 18 months, but from construction person, just a whole bunch of architects, Paul, and, guys work. And they decided, they said, hey, let's do a favor, we'll just come down there, take a look at it. So a team of 4 of them come down, it was the electrician that did the job, it was the plumber that did the job, 2 from the construction company. Actually, 5 that came. So they came down, and we met last Tuesday, Wednesday, over here at the boiler room. And then the architect they hired was over there, did a total walkthrough, everything. And nobody still can figure out what's going on. Nobody. Now, the thing I know is that, you're talking some of the best, you're talking about guys build jails every day, we're talking about, they said nobody did anything wrong. It's one of those they don't know yet. So today or tomorrow, I can't remember what day it is, the boiler company is coming here to tear number one down, completely down, tear it apart, shift all the responsibility to number two to run the place today, look in number one, see if there's anything wrong. It's got to be in that boiler. Part of the concern me was, is there's rust in the bottom of number one, rust in the bottom of number two, a little bit of rust in the bottom of number three. And I'm wondering, stupid question, but they said they were looking at, put a screen or a filter to see if it's not using water. Possibly, it's going to do that we use, I don't know. And so,
Do they not have like a petcock valve they could drain that?
well, it drains itself, but I mean, no, they don't have a deal like that. But it's, one does all the thinking all day long. When it gets tired, it'll kick over to number two, and number two will run for a while, and they kick over to number three, and it'll run on. I mean, it's fascinating how it does that. But one's getting abused right now, but it's going to be tore down today, tore apart. My hope is that there was something wrong with number one, the boiler. But by bringing his team down, his liability wise, will cover himself. Back then, there was no code. They had to put an O2 detector.
There's no really bent.
Yeah, there was no.
Outside.
So I first time, everybody went alarm, you know, that fire chief was here and fire marshal, and I don't know, so right now, there's really, nobody knows.
Doug seemed to think it was just like you said, a mechanical failure.
Oh,
It's, you know,
I talked to Doug also, he was talking about that, when the company came in here that day, there was a air vapor leak around the skylines. They did.
it's just, with a crank board on the wall, they're on the other side of that wall, it's outside. And that's where one of the most powerful ones. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so this way they may tear it apart and see what's going to get something done. But anyway, I invited the whole team down here, and Paul, Greco, and Paul, everybody could figure out anything. So that's what they have.
On the recycling program, we all saw the pictures that Kevin sent us from Johnston City. And ironically, right about that time, we got the bill in.
Mhm.
And so we made a copy of that so we could all see this. And I didn't realize this, but I was under the impression that they were going to be picking up here on our local weekly, every Wednesday. And according to the bill, they're only coming once a month. And
It was
It says one lift per week.
supposed to be once a week.
Yeah, it
it says one lift per week, but
Well, you know the solution to all this, we discussed it. Save $551 per month. And move on down the road up to the board.
I think we should, because we're getting
People are abusing it too bad. I mean, it's-
we're getting actual trash in both locations. We're getting materials that are not recyclable, furniture, toilets,
treadmill.
TVs. Graciously, we had some people that was willing to take the TVs, even though the guts had been taken out of the shell. You still can't get rid of that way. So I wanted us to discuss this just a little bit to see, but
Well, here's what I would like to say about this. I understand the problem. I think concerning Johnson City, actually, let me get to the first problem, is we could always shop around and see if there's anyone else that offers the same service other than Republic at a cheaper price.
But is price the issue, or is it just the annoying people taking advantage of it?
Well,
That's wrong.
Right, no, I understand, yeah, but if there was somebody that came in maybe twice a week for the same price or something. But as far as Johnson City goes, I think Johnson City needs to step up. if they're wanting an increase in pickup, I think Johnson City needs to either get their own dumpster out there alongside or pay the county for the additional pickup or whatever. I don't know if that'd be a good situation, probably not, but I'd say they just need to get their own because there's no other community that we have a dumpster in. You know, Johnson City's the only other community in the county.
And they're just trying to balance it out to the north.
Yeah.
and south.
Right. But I think Johnson City needs to step up. And I've talked to a few people there, and I did mention this to the mayor. It's been a long time ago. But I think maybe we ought to just look around before we totally eliminate it and see if there's any way we can lower our costs, go with another company, see if we can get a better service.
Well, there's not a lot of companies around that really do that. And we've had the problem just dumping stuff out on the ground. Bags get tore open. The neighbors are not happy about it. And I just like, personally, I think if we had, we still meeting our, what's mandated, that I don't think that's a big issue anyway, because the state wouldn't enforce it anyway. But if we just had Kevin doing what he does, and he's there available, I think that would be more than adequate. And the cost is a side issue. You know, we're only talking $6,612 is what the cost is for a year. So in the grand scheme of everything, that's not significant. What is significant is the abuse that's being done.
I can tell you, my brother was in St. Louis, he said that they had the same situation in St. Louis as their school. And he said, no, stop. People kept doing it, all gone. All 6 dumpsters are gone. It's abusing.
And
I don't, you guys split the middle either way. I mean, Jim, you want to look somebody and see what you come up with. I mean, but.
Why don't you let me just get a
Let's
call?
do it like January first, at least let them get through the holidays and all.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe January 1.
Well,
Something else comes
follow up,
along,
and we'll see what we want to do.
something else comes along, great, and that's, I'm with you, if something else comes along.
well, that's what I was wanting to do, come in and say, all right, we're going to eliminate it coming January 1, get the Christmas season over with.
Yeah.
And they'll get their final abusing it. Because it'll happen.
It will.
It's
It will.
continuing. We've tried to open it off, chain it off. We have put signs out, they steal signs. You know, it's ridiculous. And it's not, it's a few, but that's the way it is.
But I think the other part of that problem is the pickup. I don't know if the guy's been picking it up all the time.
I thought it was Wednesday, but I don't.
It's supposed to be every Wednesday, but they don't always make it. Drivers, they have other things going on. And then here's the thing too, according to their union contract, they're not supposed to
Pick
get
up
out of the
anything.
truck.
Right.
So when people put bags in front of it, they can't get out. They will not get out. And if they can't get the runners underneath of it to lift it up and take it over the top, they just go on because they're not allowed to get out of the truck according to their union contract.
Well, I think all three of us recognize the issue, but we can just kind of let it go. If something else comes along, great. If it doesn't, we know what the solution is because it's getting ridiculous. So, and people understand abuse. They understand. Kevin does great. When he lays it out, man, he's got a spread out there that's impressive. He helps old people unload. It's a good deal.
Jim, I appreciate what you're saying, and that'd be great, but I've spoken to Kevin about this at great lengths, and he is ready for the change.
He does that.
He's tired of it also.
Start cleaning up after everybody. And the other thing is, if the one thing you don't want to do is get into a contract with somebody who was going to lock in for a year or something. It would have to be a month to month where if this does it again, they're out. You know what I mean? Because they'll try to lock you into a contract. And then once you're in contract, you're stuck. Because I will guarantee you, it doesn't matter who it is, it's going to happen again and again and again. And so we don't want somebody to, snookers into some kind of deal. It's going to be a contract for 1 year because we're right back where we started from. So Kevin said he's picking up stuff, going out, picking up down yards.
So with
and stuff.
Republic then, it's not a year contract, is it?
I don't know what, I don't know, I guess.
We're month to
I think it
month.
started out to be, and
It's month to month.
we back up went month to month, yeah. But anybody else might want to try to lock in for security.
Why don't you let me check
Go ahead.
a
That's all.
couple of companies and just see, and that way we'll have information. And then the board can make a decision later.
Sounds good.
As we'd say in recycling, kick the can down the road.
Literally.
They cut the cans, yeah.
Depends on if it's metal or not.
Yeah, what grade it is.
That's gonna be another thing too, come January. There's gonna be some great changes coming down the pike that's proposed for recycling purposes. A lot more plastics are going to not be taken. So it's going to be, it's going to be quite a process, interesting process going forward on what's going to be taken, what may not be taken, because China has
But
taken that.
that's not our problem there. That's, somebody else makes a decision that we have no control over, you know? And that's gonna be Republic's.
Presently it will be, but, you know,
But I know what you're saying. It could filter down to, we may put sign out there or something and, well, Progress Port quit taking certain plastics,
Mhm.
you know,
They had to.
for that various reason, for that same reason. So it's a moving goalpost with recycling. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of people think that there is no cost associated with it, but there is, you know, there's a lot of cost associated with recycling. So it boils down to not only the trash, but the dollars as well. So, but anyway,
good luck.
I'll see.
All right, it's annual time for the animal control, our intergovernmental agreements with different communities. This is just round one. We have other communities that have not gotten their paperwork back to here yet. So,
Got quite a few in the first round.
yeah, we did. You can pretty much like doing taxes. You can tell pretty well which one. The same ones are always Johnny on the spot and getting it back to us because they want the service. And then there's always going to be two or three laggers out there that they want to consider doing it themselves.
I'll just run through these.
Okay.
Yeah, make a motion to accept the animal control and government agreement for the village of Culp.
Checking it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry. Ron Ellis.
Okay.
Animal control and government agreement with the village of Kangaroo.
Second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yay.
Animal control and government agreement with Freeman's Borough.
Second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Animal control and government agreement with Real Friends.
Second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Animal control and government agreement with City of Carterville.
Second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Animal control and government agreement with City of Johnson City.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Animal control and government agreement with Village of Pittsburgh.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Okay. Then,
Okay.
October, those are good.
I'm gonna make a motion to accept the minutes of October 8th, 2019.
Second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Accept the minutes of October 9th, 2019.
Second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Accept the minutes of October 17th, 2019.
Second.
Marlowe.
Yeah.
Gentry.
Yeah.
Ellis.
She's getting money down there, she's cutting off. Accept the minutes of October 18th, 2019.
Second.
Marlowe.
Yeah.
Gentry.
Yeah.
Ellis.
Accept the minutes of October 28th, 2019.
Second.
Marlowe.
Yeah.
Gentry. Ellis.
Yeah.
How they can be posted.
All right, now accept the following reports, the public defender report for October, the Williamson County Clerk fees for September, the Williamson County Clerk Kyle Records for September, the Williamson County Clerk Real Estate Trust September, and the Williamson County Clerk Mobile Home Trust September. Accept those reports. And we have a resolution for the state's attorney's appellate prosecutor. The
Matching funds.
Yeah, this is where we do this every year, and it saves us a lot of money. Our cost is $28,000 for this, but it saves us a ton of money for when we have a conflict of interest or anything that comes up that's special with the state's attorney's office.
If I remember right, Chuck was here, up to 15,000, 28 now.
Yeah, it's been 28 for quite a while.
I think they had an increase this year.
Was it
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah.
I know it's been in the 20s for the last few years.
We got a notice on it a while back.
So, you want to read that here?
Yeah, I'll make the motion then that we approve the resolution 19-11-12-60.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Brent Gentry,
Yes.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah. And then, we had to have a recalculation of the split for the funds, the fines and fees that were established a few months ago. So, and this is always a moving target. I was literally told that this may not be the last change, that there could be some more changes down the pike as they try to get this split out. This is stuff that was mandated by the state of Illinois. So, and we have, I'll make a motion that we accept the amended ordinance establishing civil fees and criminal and traffic assessments to be charged by the clerk and the circuit clerk of Williamson County, ordinance number 19-11-12-07.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Brent Gentry, Ron Ellis.
Yeah. That, trying to make sure that everybody gets their proper split for the new fees. Then we have an intergovernmental agreement with Williamson County and
Various communities.
very, yeah, here. So I'm not sure if we need to go through and actually read this or not, but this is,
This is for the purpose of applying and designating the Illinois Enterprise Zone between the county and the various communities.
I think Margie said that you can either do them all in one lump or do them individually.
Yeah, I
They're
put
they're the same resolution.
No, I put two different resolutions, both
Yeah.
of these numbers, yeah. I talked to her this morning.
What'd she say now?
She had sent me something that was wrong, so I had to go in and switch it out, but there's two ordinances there and then an intergovernmental agreement.
So she said to break them out this time or
She
not?
said it's up to us, but since they have two different
probably cleaner to
ordinance
break 'em
numbers,
out.
you need to do it separate.
Yeah. So the first one would be just establishing the intergovernmental agreement.
It's entering into an
Right.
intergovernmental agreement.
Right.
So we'll do that one first.
and this is for the purpose of establishing the new enterprise zone that we're sending off. Carrie Manis is working on doing that. That has to be sent in the month of December. And this is another step in establishing the new, establishing and asking for the new enterprise zone for Williamson County. When our present enterprise zone expires November 30th of 2020. So that's everything that's going on here.
So I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance number 19-11-12-08, which is an ordinance to authorize Williamson County to enter into an intergovernmental agreement among Williamson County, Cambria, Carterville, Greenville, Energy, Aaron, Johnson City, and Marion.
So,
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Brent Gentry,
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
And I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance number 19-11-12-09, which is an ordinance establishing an enterprise zone in Williamson County.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Brent Gentry,
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Okay. And this is really important going forward to help businesses that we should establish here. The county has allocated the new enterprise zone. We're allowed 15.2 square miles of area for the enterprise zone. And this, we're real close. We're about 14 square miles. We have very little wiggle room in this going forward, but it would be a huge shot in the arm. And the important thing is that it would help stimulate some businesses wanting to come in here, helps them to be able to build their project without having to pay the sales tax. We can put that back into their.
Another easy deal, sort of that meeting. Whether you get like the guy coming down here, 148, you get the full 5.
Mhm.
I talked to every one of the superintendents. No brainer, do it, so now we're waiting on Brandon, go to them, and they do it. It's gonna be an addendum like that.
It takes a little something like this to get businesses to get started, to help them out get started.
But I always felt like you should get the full 5.
I think we're very blessed here in Williamson County. I think we are a growing county. And when more businesses come in, it brings spin-off jobs usually. And
We're in
helps
competition,
everybody.
we're in competition with other counties, and then some are offering a lot more. So, that's what my idea was with that, it's just give the full 5 years, whether it rolls over or not, so. You gotta be business friendly, you're right.
You have to be.
And there's no guarantee, by doing this, there is no guarantee that we're going to be awarded
That's true.
the new enterprise zone.
And then like a TIF, this is only a 5-year plan. And where a TIF could be up to 35 years.
No, it's a 10-year plan, but for enterprise
No, I
zone, it's
think
10
this
years,
is-
but they can only get 5
I believe
years.
this is only a
We
5-year.
reduced it to 5 about, I don't know. Oh, we had done anything, but we reduced it to 5. It was 10. It was down to 5.
I was under the impression that the new one was going to be set up for 10 years, but they could only benefit for a 5-year period. That way, it covers businesses that can come in and out. It's not just for a 5-year period, it's literally for a 10-year period. But the business that utilizes it, can only utilize it for a 5-year period.
Wasn't the way it is. But it might be doing what I'm
Well, then-
accomplished.
If you read section 2, right there.
I remember
that
dropping to
explains-
5, but if that's the case, then that would take care of my issue.
Well, the enterprise zone that we have in place now was only set up for 5 years. This is dealing with see here, in section 2,
Yeah.
it talks about if the enterprise zone will be effective for a period of 15 years.
But
But the businesses that utilize it can only be in it for 5.
correct.
That's the
That's
important.
Well, it's covered in blanket at 15.
Correct.
That's the difference.
They can come in on year 6.
Yes, the business comes, it doesn't matter when the business comes in this 15-year period, if a business comes into Williamson County and they're in the enterprise zone,
That's what
They
we're
will get
wanting.
their 5
they
years.
get their 5
Yeah,
years.
that's what we're wanting.
That's kind of what I was,
But the current enterprise
that's the one.
zone doesn't have that
Right.
provision.
That's what I'm.
Right.
And that's why that language was specifically put into this, for this one, where the business can utilize it for a 5-year period in this 15-year window.
Because you go west of here, 10 years, 10 years.
And the 5 years has to be consecutive. So for an example, the business can come in and say, okay, we're opening our doors on January, I'm just gonna pick a date, January 1, 2023. And they're in business for 2 years.
They can't come back.
And then they shut down.
No.
They can't be, they're shut down for a year. They cannot come back and get back into the enterprise zone. It has to be, they have to be in business.
Well, what do I have on that
consecutive
if,
years.
they go out 2 years and somebody comes back and buys it, different name?
That's not addressed. And that'll be determined, to be determined at a later date.
And down the road.
Why you look for problems? But that's what the whole purpose of this was. And so we addressed the concern that you had in this, and make sure that the business, any business, not just a business, any business can come into this, in this 15-year window. So if they start in year 13,
Pick up anywhere.
they would continue for 3 more years. Okay? Exactly.
They should
But-
get, they should get 2 more.
What
So-
that doesn't do is that doesn't help 2 new businesses that are upstart. The Fujiyama Restaurant, and the Road Ranger. And Road Ranger has started doing the groundwork, the earthwork down there.
Moving on.
Did they clear their issue with IDOT?
Apparently, because they've started clearing trees.
Yeah, they
I
had.
wouldn't think that they would do anything unless they cleared it.
And they have an entryway that's real close, just a few yards to the east of the, being able to get onto the ramp, northbound on 57. So I'm suspecting that they're gonna have 2 entryways in there, two ways in, 2 ways out.
Mhm.
You'll have one that's down close to where Lions Den is for entryway in and out, and then you'll have one right there, just to the east of the northbound ramp for the interstate. But that'll be good, and they're hoping we'll start construction on that, April or May of next year. We get all the groundwork done before the bad weather hits. That way we're way ahead of the game.
You guys still need to do the intergovernmental agreement. There's 3 there.
Oh.
Might be 2.
Yeah, it's on the bottom there. Okay, I'll make a motion to, that's what comes on my papers to also accept the intergovernmental agreement.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe?
What
It's
number?
There is no number, it's just the
Number on it.
intergovernment agreement.
Okay, I'll second it. All right, yeah,
Third, yeah, third.
Yay.
Yay.
Brent Gentry,
Okay.
Jim Marlowe,
I think I voted twice on that.
you did.
Did I vote?
Make sure you
Yes.
got it.
Did you say yay? You seconded it.
Let's ask some people down the hallway what they think. That's a camera.
What do we say? So, all right.
Anybody else got anything?
We have a new assistant state's attorney to the
Yeah.
board.
This is number 3 in 2 months.
Philip, you want to say anything? Introduce yourself or
I have the option. I'm Philip Maddox, the new Assistant State's Attorney for the Civil Division. I'm Wendy's replacement. I look forward to working with y'all.
Oh, you just wait, give it a month, you'd be wishing you weren't.
Apparently, we're tough to work with because we keep clearing them out.
No,
This is one position they just
glad
can't
to
keep.
have you. Welcome aboard.
Appreciate it.
All right, nothing else, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yay.
Brent Gentry?
Yay.
Ron Ellis?
Yeah.
And you guys didn't notice I changed the color.